I think we need to have a serious discussion about the mindset of a lot of people, especially those in these cities, these Democrat hellhole cities, where they don't their reality is not based in reality, and this is why I call them reality benders. Let's get into it. So we're pulling this article for the New York Post, and it says a homeless New York City man makes a chilling confession after shoving woman onto moving train. I did it because I wanted to. Now I don't understand why it's so chilling when someone sits there and says it. I know that to some people they think that they can save everyone, or they'll lie to themselves and claim that everybody is rehabilitated, like everyone can be rehabilitated, everyone has goodness in them. There are some bastards out there in the world, male and female, that are just evil. And the problem is you sitting there and you letting them back out into the streets. Because how many times have I covered these stories where somebody gets arrested for doing a violent crime, they get out right after, or they get out a month later or a year later, sometimes even 30, 40 years later, and they're still killing people. Let's get into it.
Here on the sidewalks, I'm Haley Brown with the New York Post. We're out here on the sidewalks today talking to New Yorkers about crime in the city.
It's terrible. Can't go in the train in the morning without some disgruntled person bothering you or somebody acting crazy. The city needs a lot of help.
As I've always said, and I stand by it, if you go into New York City, if you travel in New York City, you will most likely run into the mentally deranged in the transit system or on the buses. They live there. Even though there should be checks and balances so that they cannot access those places, because for you to get on these places, you need to pay money. How are homeless people accessing the trains? It's beyond me. However, they sit there and they stay on the trains all throughout the night. Sometimes they're even on the trains, sleeping on the benches with fitted sheets. I've even seen a guy make a bed out of fucking what are those things called? Milk carton containers, or the milk carton crates, pillows and everything in the train, and they're in the train or on the train station, and they just stay there, and no one does anything. No one tries to do anything. I mean, to be honest, the general populace can't do anything anymore, because if it's one of them, it's 100 of, literally it's 100 of them. The police don't do anything because they used to do something and then they lost a law case against it. So it's like you can't do anything. They have to wait until the homeless person does something fucking crazy before they can even act. It's terrible. Now, mind you, most of them are carrying weapons on them. So imagine a mentally ill person. Some of them are not even mentally ill, they're just evil, right? Quite intelligent, they're just fucking evil. They're carrying weapons. Now, what do you do? Let's continue.
I've had somebody come up to me one time and they just started threatening me and then they pulled a knife out on me, and yeah, it's really scary. Like for me as a guy, like I can't imagine for a lady.
I definitely feel like it has increased. Like, I carry pepper spray in my bag just in case because you just never know.
I feel like that's what makes us New Yorkers. Like, we're tough. We're built for the city. You know what I mean? Tourists, on the other hand, they might.
What the hell is this man talking about? There's nothing tough about falling prey, being preyed on as a victim in New York City because some deranged person comes after you. You could be as tough as you want to. If they pull out a knife on you, what are you gonna do? You gonna also pull out a knife? Because you can't pull out a gun because it's illegal. What are y'all gonna have a knife fight? Like what, or what? I wouldn't even say thieves, like rogues in an RPG game. Like, well, you both got knives. You're both untrained. What are you, close combat specialist? USAS? Like, what, you special forces? You Green Beret? What are you? Again, it's stupid to sit there and say that. Is New York tough? It was 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 20 years ago, when men was able to be men. Now, more than likely, when something happens, because so many people have seen, when I literally sit there and tell you the shit that you hear in the news, most of these people who live in these cities, shit, even when I go into New York City, we see this shit on a, the shit that you hear about, we go through it at least 4 times in a month. It's like and it's really bad because most people's response to that is just to put their head down, while the city just acts like they care and stamps another LGBT heart on the side of a train. because hate has no place on the platform. Meanwhile, you got women being set on fucking fire. Let's continue.
Might not be used to this.
In New York, we're so like
Who is used to getting stabbed on the train? Who is used to watching people or getting set on fire? Tell me who these people are so we can send all of those people who are used to that and we put them over there. Oh, that's right. It's the cities. My bad. My bad. That was stupid of me. Whoopsie.
numb to the things that are going on now because it's happening so frequently. That's why a lot of people have the perception that New Yorkers is so like hard or cold-blooded, is that we're so used to seeing the same things every day.
Almost like once a week we get like the public safety announcements of like there's been a crime around your area like involving a student.
How does that make you feel?
Scared and like anxious to go outside alone.
I feel incredibly safe here.
Can you elaborate on that? What makes you feel safe?
There's somebody around all the time if I need help.
I know
Stupid bitch raped at 12. Stupid bitch. Stupid bitch who felt safe while everyone watched that she was viciously raped. More news at 10. If you really think anybody's gonna bust a grape in a fruit fight for you in New York City, I got a bridge to sell you. I I got multiple vaccinations to give you, and you can mix and match them, and I'll tell you that they work. This is the shit that I'm talking about when it comes down to these people who they're either in complete denial or they're just that fucking ignorant about it and they just don't care. They just don't care. Because they rather lie to themselves or bend reality before facing the issue at hand. It is very dangerous in these cities. But yeah, you keep going with you feel extreme. Look, smug and cocky too. I bet she was a Kamala voter.
Alone.
I feel incredibly safe here.
Can you elaborate on that? What makes you feel safe?
There's somebody around all the time if I need help.
I know some of my colleagues don't feel safe. They live in other areas. They don't even come down to the city unless it is for work.
New York City to me has always felt like a place where bad things could happen, but if you're kind of savvy, like they say, keep your head on a swivel, you could be okay.
I know there was a trend.
So one white woman just sat there and said that she feels completely safe. Two black women sat there and said they don't feel safe. So what does that say? That's right. White privilege. Yep, I'm agreed. Now let me stop. But you get what I'm saying. It's so stupid.
And for a while where I saw like everyone posting like, oh my god, I just got punched in the face. It happened to my uncle. He was walking with my aunt. Some guy just randomly walked up to him and like rocked him in the face.
And it could be done as a joke. It don't even got to be a criminal. It could just be some little shit stain that he wasn't raised properly and he's running around punching people playing. They used to call it the knockout game, right? Let's read this article here. The homeless man, we good? All right, thanks, man. The homeless man who allegedly shoved a woman onto the path of a moving train made a chilling confession, telling cops, I did it because I wanted to, a court heard Tuesday. Marquise Brazilis, 26, brazenly admitted to tossing the 23-year-old victim into an oncoming A train at the 168 station shortly after he was arrested for a savage Monday morning attack. So my man got arrested, got released, and then threw a woman on the train tracks while the train was coming. Again, as I said, many such cases, and it repeats itself. And what's gonna happen? Kathy Hochul is gonna sit there and be like, "Oh, I'm gonna put servicemen on the train and we're gonna patrol the station." It doesn't matter how many bodies you put on the station if the men in blue or your servicemen can't do their fucking jobs because you don't want them to do their jobs. Then what are we doing here? We just, you know what I'm saying? It's kind of like the saying, you don't pull out a condom unless you're ready to fuck. She got the condom out, but we already know that she's not going to do nothing with it. It's so stupid. They don't want to fix the problems. They want to act like they want to fix the problems, but they don't want to fix no problems. So it is what it is. Yeah, they don't. I pushed her onto the train because I was high and I was mad. And you know what's crazy about this? Many people, look at this. Look, this man is 26. This man is 26, homeless, but I always, another thing about being in them shelters, and I could tell you, all right, another thing about being in them shelters, they're always high. Ain't got no money. They all got phones though. They all get high. They can always get high and they're content. And the shelter system allows them to be like that. It is the craziest shit I've ever seen. Look at this. Look at this motherfucker. He's 26. His whole life could still be ahead of him. Look, yo, this man is going. I did it because I wanted to, he allegedly said. Prosecutors said the unhinged man should be held on $150,000 bail, arguing he posed a danger to the public as this was his third arrest in the subway system in just over a week. I say, fuck that. We shouldn't even be talking about bail. There should be an element when it comes down to criminals, when criminals commit crimes where if you have if you have no remorse for the crime, you were the agitator, you tossed somebody on the fucking train whether they died or not. 5 years minimum before we even start talking about you even being let back on the street. 5 years minimum. For, just think about it. The mindset, the fucking mindset to not only push somebody onto the train and then sit there and say, I wanted to do it. Fuck that motherfucker. And here's the thing. So shit, I hit I hit my goddamn mic. Here's the deal. People look at my channel, right? They look at my channel and they go, oh, all you do is go after women. All you do is bash women. I said, no, you just sitting there and you full of shit. Because whenever I bring up a situation about men, it's not like women. Women sit there and they do stupid shit like, oh, I'm gonna leave this guy because I'm gonna leave this guy because some stupid random bullshit. Don't judge me, and I go, I'm gonna judge you. But then when it comes out to guys, horrible men doing horrible things, I'm just like, kill them, face the wall. I'm much harsher to guys than I am to females, but people are very selective in what they see. Just like the people in New York City who are supposedly supposed to be looking out for us, that's making these laws, are very selective in what they care about and what they do and what they don't do. If they really wanted to get the mental illness element, the homeless mental illness element out of the subway, out of off the buses and all of that, they could do it. They just don't want to. They got rid of the mental asylums for a reason. And here's the deal. Have you ever sat there and wonder why it is that these people are always in the trains, always in public, like always, like they're always in the trains. A lot of these times you hear these stories, they're always in the trains. Why would they rather be outside in the elements when it's winter time? Why are they not in shelters? I'll tell you really what the real reason is. When a mental ill person is doing all of that shit, acting crazy, attacking people, many of them, overwhelmingly many of them, they know who they can and can't do it around. So when you have those people that they're numb and they're putting their head in the sand and they're ignoring it, thinking that the problem's just gonna go away, they can't do that in the shelter because what ends up happening is they're gonna run into somebody else who's having a bad time just like them. Either they just came home and this is what they do, and I'm not praising criminals or whatever like that, or gangbangers in the shelter system, or they're gonna run into a dude that's in the shelter who he's not trying to be around a mentally ill fucking person. If the mental ill person tries to pop off, they gonna pop off too. So what do individuals like this do? They go outside, they hang around in the subway, and they bother people. They harass people, they attack people, they assault people, but they know the ones to pick. They know. Absolutely. I was on the train probably 4 or 5 months ago. There was a mentally ill dude, and he's rapping, but there's nothing in his ears. And I'm like, oh, that's just a typical ghetto monkey. Because for some reason, everybody wants to be a fucking rapper. But he's sitting there and he just buh, 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 and he's going on like he's acting like he's shooting people, like he's in the next Mission Impossible by himself. And he goes right next to two girls, right? He goes right next to two girls. Police come onto the subway and into the train. He stops completely. He just stops acting crazy. 2, 3 stations later, police get off the train. He starts acting up again. Man, listen, this is what I'm talking about. Like, they gaming you. Both cases, which include charges not bail eligible, allow Brazil to remain free to escalate his subway deviance, culminating in the unprovoked attack at the Washington Heights station around 9 a.m. January 27, prosecutor said. The maniac didn't even exchange a word with his victim before throwing her onto the train, according to the ADA. He poses a threat to strangers he encounters on the subway platforms, and he engages in criminal conduct despite being completely unprovoked. Judge Janet McDonald opted not to set bail, remanding Brazilis into custody as he awaits trial, noting there was an outstanding warrant for his arrest on a probation violation from a conviction in Philadelphia. How the fuck he get over to New York then? Brazilis attorney Jeffrey, how the fuck? Wait, what? Anyway, Brazilis attorney Jeffrey Linehan said his client has been homeless for at least 5 years while suffering from there it is. He's mentally ill. You gotta understand. While suffering from mental health conditions, including visual hallucinations. You let him out into the street. He's in the street. My man has visual hallucinations. Again, any fucking excuses. The victim, who suffered bruising and abrasions all over her body, recounted the attack on her Instagram, urging New Yorkers to remain vigilant while riding the subway. Whatever, bro. I was trying to get away from him when he decided to shove me onto the moving train. Bro, how do you sit there? How do you prevent getting randomly shoved onto the fucking train 24/7 by a person who doesn't even need to speak a word to you or look at you? How do you, especially as a woman, how do you prepare for that? You just become paranoid? That is a terrible fucking way to live. You can't prepare for that. Anyway, the MTA's chief security officer, Michael Kemper, said in a statement Monday that he is dumbfounded how Brazilis was allowed to remain on the street. Really? You're dumbfounded? I could show you like 20 other cases of career criminals in New York City alone. That's been wasn't there one guy that got arrested like 90 something times and he's still setting people on fire? That he was dumbfounded how Brazilis was allowed to remain on the street after the two recent run-ins with police before the attack. It is beyond comprehension how this menace can be arrested 2 different times, only to be let turned loose and cause more mayhem, Kemper said. Brazilis was charged with attempted assault in the first degree and assault in the second degree in the latest case. He is due back in court on January 31st. This motherfucker is he's 26 years old. Ain't no way. And this is the thing. You can tell he's gone. Look at him. He looks homeless. He's gone. Like there's a difference between well, he's more than homeless. Like you can be homeless. I was homeless. You can be homeless. There's a difference between being homeless and helpless. This motherfucker, you can't help him. He's helpless. 26, man, nah. Anyway, let me know what you think in the video. Do you think you can save everyone, Batman? I mean, shit, even Superman can't save everyone. Anyway, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.